Good morning, friends. So please understand what is a typical supply chain network. So here you can see this is the typical supply chain network. Here left side you can see raw material suppliers. So there are different kind of raw material suppliers. Right, they will supply to the semi-finished product suppliers. Basically, these are also the manufacturing units. So they will receive this complete raw material. They will make some semi-finished products, and this semi-finished products basically work in progress process inventory or work in progress inventory that will be sent to the main manufacturer, that is OEM, original equipment manufacturers, right? So they will convert a finished product, final final product basically, and they will store somewhere in distribution centers or warehouses, or they will directly supply to the maybe uh, customers, maybe corporate customers, etc. Or here in this segment, you can see distributors and warehouses. So normally we can store this, or we can send it to distribution center. From distribution center, it will be shipped to the wholesalers and retailers. Here only retailers is found, but it should be wholesaler also, right? So wholesalers, or maybe for the retailers, and finally end consumers. So here you can see the end customers. So customers could be different corporate customers like institutes, or maybe companies or somewhere, right? Or maybe end consumers, individual consumers. They will come and pick up from retailers. So this is, or maybe retailers might uh, may supply to the individual customer based on the minimum order quantity set by the retailer. So this is in this process, you can see material information and fund flow happens at various levels. Now, managing of designing a supply chain network. So SCM, supply chain network, SCN, we need to understand. Designing a supply chain network involves uh, creating a network that incorporates all the facilities, means of production, products, transportation, assets owned by the organization or those not owned by the organization, but which immediately support the supply chain operations and production. So this is okay. And a supply chain is all stages involved directly or indirectly in fulfilling customer required requests. It includes directly raw material producers, suppliers, manufacturers, wholesalers, retailers, and customers, and others like transporters, warehouses, etc. But also include indirectly functions like product development, marketing, operations, distribution, customer service, etc. If you need to design a supply chain, you need to know demand forecasting, the resource means aggregate planning, and coordination and buffers. Designing process of supply chains. Supply chain design is about manner in which our network structure should look like. Example, how many numbers of facilities we should have, where we should have them, which facilities serves what needs or purposes, and about the transportation decisions. Refer logistical drivers. So there are 6 logistical drivers. You know that, right? So one is logistical driver, and second is cross-functional driver. Under logistical drivers, we have got 3 drivers. That is facility, inventory, and transportation. Like that, right? So supply chain management is a set of approaches concerned with the efficient integration of suppliers, manufacturers, wholesalers, of the distributors, and retailers, so that the products are produced and distributed in the right quantity, in the right quality, to the right location at the right time, in the right condition. The right means reduce system-wide costs and satisfy customer service requirements. There has to be balance between the two. No. Now understand design process of supply chain again. So we need to understand these drivers actually. So we need to have balance between two. What are the balance between two? Basically, there are two drivers. I told you earlier. It is logistical drivers and cross-functional drivers. So in that we need to have the balance. So logistical drivers are facility, inventory, transportation. In short, I have put a formula like FIT and ISP for cross-functional drivers, but don't use these as acronym somewhere. Why? Because this is just for memorizing purpose, nothing else. Okay. So cross-functional drivers are information sourcing and pricing. So let's understand how these supply chain drivers helps in supply chain design process. Like first logical driver is facility. The physical location in which supply chain network where the physical location in the supply chain network where the product is stored, assembled and fabricated. So this is the facility basically. What is inventory? All raw material, work in progress, and finished goods with a supply chain, within a supply chain. So these are the inventory basically. It is not limited to the material like raw material, work in progress of this good inventory. There are other kind of inventories as well. So normally for production purposes, we consider these three kinds of inventory. Then transportation, moving inventory from point to point in the supply chain. So transportation is used. Now cross-functional drivers, information, data and analysis concerning facilities, inventory and transportation cost, prices and customers throughout the supply chain. Sourcing, what sources will we have, where and when, who will perform a particular supply chain activity. So that we need to understand in sourcing. And finally, pricing, how much the firm will charge for the goods or services that it makes available in the supply chain. Then again, in addition, supply chain design is about how to optimize the decisions. So here max CM, that is customer needs, min ITFC, C. These are the codes that I put it for memorizing purpose only. Please do not use this as an acronym somewhere else. Okay, this is just for you memorizing purpose. These all points, right? Okay. So maximizing customer needs, demand side revenue. Second point is minimizing inventory cost, that is cost of the materials. Minimizing transportation cost, cost of moving inventory. Minimizing facility cost, that is cost of operations and storage. Minimizing minimizing capacity cost, costs of resources like labor or machines to produce, distribute, or sell, etc. The goal is to maximize meeting of customer needs while minimizing all the above costs to set the supply chain policies. So that we need to understand. We can take one example here. So I have taken one example here. A company decided to open a distribution facility near a township. So what are the advantages of that? So increases responsiveness, proximity to market, manpower availability, decreases or reduces transportation cost, and enhances customer service. So these are the advantages of uh, uh, putting a facility near township. Now, what are the disadvantages of this? So higher land and property cost, limited space availability near township, increased competition for access to resources and labor due to the proximity to the residential area. And finally, challenges in maintaining a balance between residential needs and industrial activity. Right? So there might be many policies and procedures that we need to follow as an industry, right? So there might be a challenge. And other example like Toyota has been increasing its capacity to be able to sell in global markets. First, it had smaller facilities to sell only in local markets. So this is how later on they have created a bigger one. And also we can take an example of Amazon. It has increased distribution centers from 20 to 40 from 2010 to 2013. So this is how. So I'm binding up this video here, and next I will bring some new topic. Till then, stay tuned. Bye bye. Thank you.